Good morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist at Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center on behalf of A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, a1fincham.com. They are focused on customer satisfaction. They won't quit until you're happy. Check them out at a1fincham.com or give them a call, 865-947-4267. They also have a great monthly maintenance plan. They'll come out twice a year, usually before winter, and we've got a lot of winter left. And then right before summer to make sure everything is working properly. If you had some problems with your heat pump this past cold snap, you might want to pay attention because they are the experts when it comes to heating and cooling. Make sure that once it gets below 15 degrees, that heat pump may have to go to emergency heat, as I've learned from our friends at A1 Fincham. By the way, as we take a look, I want to show you the visibility and the temperatures because yesterday we had freezing fog. We don't have that problem today. Totally different situation. In fact, temperatures are in the low 40s in Oak Ridge, and it's 39 in Knoxville. Well, that's not bad. 37 in Middlesboro, and it's 41 in Athens. 36 Jonesville, 35 Crossville. So generally mid to upper 30s are generally what we're seeing. Maryville about 38, 39 right now in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and 41 in Newport. I mentioned visibility was an issue yesterday morning if you were watching, but that's not an issue this morning. Looks okay, A-OK for the visibility, but that could change tomorrow morning when some clearing skies give way to more patches of freezing fog tomorrow because it will be pretty chilly. I want to show you the radar over the last couple of hours. I've put in that forecast that there could still be some mountain flakes early, and that's showing up in blue. But if you go back to about 5:50 in the morning, there were a couple of sprinkles maybe dropping down from Kentucky. I'm looking at Claiborne County, some green specks here or there. So I can't rule out some drizzle this morning. But most of it's on the way down and shutting down pretty quickly. So we'll go from clouds to sunshine today. Clouds to sunshine. It stays chilly, finishing in the upper 40s is what I expect today. By the way, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on both. But I'm going to say hi to anyone who might want to leave me a note on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, give me a shout out. I'd love to say hi to you. I'd love to find out what you're seeing. If you've got a comment, a question, a concern, I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have. By the way, as we look at, again, the radar is pretty quiet. Maybe a few mountain flakes may linger. And we expand the view. Most of the rain that now has moved away is near Charlotte, perhaps near Greensboro. The airport picked up 0.13, that's 0.13 inches of rain. It was closer to ½ inch near Sevierville and in toward Greenville. So there was a little bit more precipitation south and east, and that's where most of the precipitation has now moved to. It's migrated into the Carolinas and moving off the coast at this particular time. Got any comments? Leave me a note. I'd love to say hi to you. I'll answer any questions, in fact, including the cold air that's going to be coming back in the term of February. We'll talk about that as well. But meanwhile, as you can see, the bigger picture, it's quiet here, but there's another powerful storm system that will be moving across parts of California over time. By the way, they're family owned and operated. Talking about A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling. They've been around since James Fincham started this company back in 1982 when the World's Fair came to Knoxville. A very magical year, no doubt, in Knox County, but they've been around for a long time and also focused on customer satisfaction. They will get the job right and prepare to get the job done right the first time. Check them out at a1fincham.com. Do you know when we see this Friday? Friday's a special day because of, well, Groundhog Day. And if he sees, I'm talking about the groundhog himself, Puxatawny Phil, if he sees his shadow, that typically leads to 6 more weeks of winter. And you say, well, that's crazy. 6 more weeks of winter. Maybe we get 5. Maybe we get 6. Maybe we can bargain for 1 less week or maybe 1 extra. Maybe it's 7. But we'll have to wait and see what Phil says. Come to Friday morning, right? Friday's Groundhog Day. But 6 more weeks in winter. If he doesn't see a shadow, typically that just means an early spring. And I think there's some of you that would probably wish for, that we get maybe an early spring this year. But certainly I can see some notes here from Michael Norman. He's popped in here with a comment. I want to say good morning to you. He says, good morning, ready for a few days off, hoping for some decent weather. You're going to get some great days, right? Today's not bad. I mean, it's clouds and sun. But Thursday's sun-filled. Friday is sun-filled. Even Saturday, you're going to love the way the next couple of days, the way the week ends. Betty Cunningham says, good morning, David. Can't wait till spring. I think Betty's on the team spring team. She's rooting for some warmer weather, and I think there's a lot of folks in that same camp for sure. But as far as Groundhog Day, that is this Friday. Puxatawny's nose is twitching there, I believe. Yeah, his eyes are blinking. So I think he's still around, but he will be making a comeback come Friday morning with a prediction. Temperature right now, 42 in Oak Ridge, if you're just joining me, 39 Jacksboro, 39 Morristown. Newport, Cock County, 41 and 35 in Crossville. Throw in a little bit of wind, and there is that wind there, about 5 to 10 today. We got a 6-mile-an-hour wind in Knoxville, Oak Ridge, and Rockwood, and 5 miles an hour in Oneida. Feels like it's 35. So even though it might be 39, we can shave 4 degrees off as far as the feels like temperature this morning, starting out the day in the 30s, most cases. Temperature 42 in Chattanooga. We have 41 in Nashville. It's 38 in Memphis. Temperatures around the state are pretty similar to what we have here, while Johnson City is checking in at 40 degrees. So those are our temperatures. Most of the precipitation has moved away, but you can see upstream there's a few green specks in parts of Kentucky, maybe north of Nashville. So if you get a speck of rain, don't be surprised, but most of that will begin to shut down in the next couple of hours. Tracking the clouds, we have a lot of those to start, but by the afternoon, I think it'll become partly sunny. You'll see some hazy sun pop out, and temperatures should finish generally into the mid to upper 40s. Sunrise at 7:37 this morning. That's not bad, but what's improving is that sunset time. I think that's the litmus test, is it not? 6:02. I mean, it's maybe psychological. I'd rather have the sun go down at 6:02 than 5:56, something like that. Or just a few extra minutes, just psychologically. You just kind of know it's going to get dark after 6. That's something, that's a sign that spring can't be too far away, a couple months anyway, before we can see maybe a bigger change in the pattern. But sunrise, sunset, we got to get kids out the door this morning. There may be, maybe not so much some fog, that's probably a misnomer, but I can tell you temperatures should rise into around 40 by 10, 45 at 2, with clouds to sunshine. That's my expectation. In fact, here are the highs: 45 for Wartburg today, 48 for Morristown, Russellville, White Pine, and if you're in Newport, expect a high around 49 today. Could easily eclipse 50. Southern Valley, so I'm looking at maybe Athens, Nyota, Philadelphia, Sweetwater, about 51. Tellico Plains, Madisonville, I have you at 49. And if you're in Cumberland County, Crossville, 41. Lake Tansy, Fairfield, Glade, Grimsley, about 40, and 40 for Jamestown for an afternoon high temperature. I want to say hi to you again. Got some notes for you because you know I'm a note taker. We did make a movement today. For the last couple of weeks, the highs, normal highs, have been in the upper 40s. But today, the normal high is 50. So that's a sign that days are getting longer. The averages are slowly getting higher, so we're up to 50. But a normal day is 50, and we should reach about 48 today. The record low today is -7, going back to 1966. So if you're old enough to remember 1966, we were -7 on this date in that year, and the record high is 75 from 2002. So just let's say hi to you. Danny Feedback says, good morning, David. Hope you have a great day. Go Vols. Carrie says, good morning this Friday. Also wear red for heart disease awareness. Thank you, Carrie, for that reminder. And Betty Cunningham says, do you think we'll get a big snow on February 10th? Oh, that's why I have the Captain Accurate Premium service, Betty. We don't necessarily focus on one day. We look at a whole pattern. We do a daily discussion, so to speak. Every day on Premium, you might want to consider joining us because we're not hanging our hat on February 10th. There could be other dates. Maybe a bunch of dates. So we'll keep you an eye on all that. Wanda says, looks like we're in a cold February. Saturday is my daughter's birthday, she says. So very interesting to see that. And I'd love to see you hear what you have to say as we are looking for a high today, about 48 Oak Ridge, Oliver Springs, and Clinton. Headline, spotty rain, mountain flakes early today. It's 6:48. And clouds to sunshine chilly today, but lots of sunshine Thursday and beyond because I got Thursday sun-filled, Friday mostly sunny, and Saturday probably nothing but sun when we make a run towards 61 degrees. Could get above 60. Imagine that. And sunny on Saturday, picture perfect. After all those weekends that have been maybe not up to your expectation, I think this Saturday should exceed your expectation because of the sun and the fact it'll be in the low 60s. It'll be a nice little break, a little respite before maybe more winter comes back down the road. Temperature right now, 39 degrees in Knoxville. It's 38 degrees in Huntington. While you look at the state, around the state and around the country, I don't see a lot of cold air, except, oh, well, there it is. Look at Caribou. Caribou's always got to represent -11. Is that for real? It is for real. Now, Bismarck is 30, but 30 seems pretty warm to me relative to Caribou. They're at -11. What if that purple shading over Caribou were to expand? Oh, please, don't tell me that. Yes, I'm asking the question. Who's hungry for more snow? I think Betty Cunningham does not want any more snow, but I believe winter's main course starts later in February, and it's not going to be hanging a hat on February 10. It's going to be maybe a whole clump of time. But winter will come back. That's because the air up in the Arctic has gotten a lot colder, and eventually it's going to make a run down toward here. So that's another reason to call A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, because guess what? If your heat pump was stressed before, Could it be stressed once the Arctic air that you see pictured here tries to come down in chunks? Come down in chunks later in February. And let me show you what that looks like. Can I show you? Let me show you how this is going to play out. Now again, it is -11 in Caribou, right? And they're not even purple on this map. -11 right now in Caribou. They're just kind of like a light blue right now. But these are 5,000 foot temperatures. And they're a good indication of where the coldest air is aloft, and it comes down on the surface. But notice there is maybe some migration of cold air in purple near Montreal by February 2nd. That's Groundhog Day. Perhaps around Puxatawney, Pennsylvania, they're going to be cold, so he might be inclined to say, hey, more winter. But then once we move into 3rd, 4th, get a little spin, possible rainmaker and mountain snowmaker on Monday. But then the 6th, then we go ahead. Let's just move into some cold air comes in. And eventually, by the time we get past the 11th, past 13th, we get into Valentine's Day. Whoa, well, that looks pretty cold to me. That's Valentine's Day. And that purple area does try to come back down. I'm looking at Winnipeg. I'm looking at Chicago, Minneapolis. Winter is a far cry from over, and it would be foolish to kind of suggest that we're done with the snow, because we're not done with the snow. You need more evidence? I'm going to show you the snow map. You're going to want to share this video. Watch. Wait till I show you what I'm going to show you. By the way, if this cold air is coming back, you might want to have a heating and air conditioning, cooling company to help you get through this season. Family owned and operated since 1982. As I mentioned, they're focused on customer satisfaction. They are prepared to get the job done right the first time. Check them out, a1fincham.com. Their number 947-4267. That's 865-947-4267. And they have some great tips. Change your filters monthly. When's the last time you did that? That could save you some money. Also, check for drafts at your home. You say, well, it's not cold now, but it will be, and you might want to seal those off. Consider more insulation, because older homes typically need more. Clear the area around the condenser unit. These are great tips from our friends at A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling. Use a programmable thermostat where you can adjust 4 to 7 degrees down in winter and adjust 4 to 7 degrees up in summer. And schedule the regular maintenance checks. They have a great monthly program, and they have discounts for seniors and veterans. So you want to give them a call. Check them out today. Give them a call. Now, this is what I think some of you are going to be excited about. If you're a snow fan, check this out. I'm going to just take it full screen. This is snow potential. It's not, I call it fantasy until it's not. It's just model data. I'm not here to defend what the model is seeing on this particular day. It doesn't see a lot other than some snow in the horseshoe effect around the Smokies. That's probably already occurred. But it's pretty quiet as we go through the 10th, 11th, and 12th. But then all of a sudden there's the 15th. Maybe we get a little bit more, maybe we get a little bit less. But I will tell you this, some of the models are still trying to figure out this problem. And I think there's going to be a problem where a lot of people are going to lower their expectation, and then all of a sudden, shazam, we're going to have another possible snow event, and maybe multiple, as my premium members know all too well, but we'll be keeping an eye on that for sure. Right now it's 39 degrees. We have a wind chill of 35. It's now 6:53. My goal is to be done in 7 minutes or less. Keep in mind the Valley Planner takes us up to 48. That's 2 degrees shy of the normal, because the normal high, the average high, is now 50. So spotty rain, mountain flakes early, clouds of sunshine will take all day to get to 48, most likely occurring around 4 o'clock, much like yesterday's high, which was, I believe, 3:59. So it was 1 minute before 4 o'clock. Our days are getting longer, so our highs are now closer to 4 o'clock rather than 3:30. I want to say hi to you. Say good morning. If you're on YouTube, I'm popping back over on YouTube to say hi to you. If you have a note or comment, leave me the note. I'll give you a shout out if you're on YouTube. By the way, Facebook, Michelle says good morning. She's one of my premium members. Darcy Sword also says much warmer today at 38 degrees, LOL. Everything's relative. Marilyn Bell says, I have a great Wednesday, everyone, and bring on the snow. Wanda Post, she says, she's on Team Snow. Snow Team, she says. I love it. Some of you are probably like, bring it on, I'm ready. I'm ready for some good snows. Some of you are like, I'm done. Let's move on with spring. Precipitation chances, 20% or less today. And with so much sunshine, we're going to get plenty of vitamin D Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I got a 40% chance of precipitation on Sunday and an 80% on Monday. That will have to be revisited today because this is another southern slider, but it's a rain southern slider. What does that mean? It's probably going to be cold enough for snow in the Smokies, but warm enough for rain in the valley as it slides across the south, meaning between, say, Atlanta, Chattanooga, we may have some more rain bringing into Knoxville on early next week. Storm Prediction Center talking about some severe weather. Isolated severe weather on Friday. Don't see that here from our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. It's pretty quiet for today all across the lower 48. But what do we see here by today? quiet weather, clouds to sunshine. And then there's some thunderstorm potential, general thunderstorms, in parts of the Four Corners and back towards Southern California and Southern Arizona. So California might get some thunder today, or Thursday rather, and then Friday, look, all of a sudden, where did this come from? Wait a minute, there was just no color there a moment ago, but Friday, there is the potential for some severe weather, isolated as it may be. If you have family in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Austin, certainly San Antonio, and west of Houston, certainly Corpus Christi and Laredo, those are the areas that might get some severe storms on Friday, which is Groundhog Day. But for us, we'll be enjoying a mostly sunny Friday. Now, all those flakes that we tried to highlight at the top of this live stream focused on the Smokies this morning. And you can see why I left a little drop or flake here or there. There's 8 o'clock. It still could be snowing, especially above 3,000 feet. And then by midday or 10 a.m., it looks like a few drops might try to form in Kentucky, maybe mixing it with flakes in Harlan County, as this model still is trying to figure this one out. But there's a little trough, that brown line near Charlotte, that's helping kickstart a little bit of moisture. So there's 11 a.m., still some spots of rain. So maybe some of this is too much noise, but either way, I think it's going to be fading early. We'll finish the day at 5 o'clock with some hazy sun and scattered clouds. We clear out tonight. Boy, do we clear out tonight. That means some patches of freezing fog will greet you in the morning. We're in the 20s. I have us down to 27. That's cold. And then on Thursday, we finish the day about 54. And then by Friday, we should be around 58. There's a front that's going to be passing by on Friday, but it should be moisture starved, as we like to say, lacking the moisture, just maybe a few high clouds. And as it moves away, it just reinforces more dry air. For Saturday, sunshiny skies, temperatures on Saturday should reach about 61. So I like the way Saturday looks and the way it will feel. Now, the Futurecast doesn't show as much in the way of flakes and drops as the one I just showed you. They're different models, so they kind of tackle the same problem in a different way. As you can see, temperatures by midday should reach about 42, but the clouds are breaking just between Crossville and Athens and Oak Ridge on this image. So by midday, if you're still cloudy in Morristown, fear not, it will break up over time. As you can see, by 3:30, it's a little brighter, 48 for a high. 48 for a high around 4 o'clock. And then by the time we hit 5 o'clock, we're in the lower to mid 40s in many areas, upper 30s already in Crossville. By 10 o'clock, 30s. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we should be around 27, 26 between Oak Ridge and Knoxville. It's a cold start, and that may allow for some low-level condensation or fog, patches of freezing fog, first thing on Thursday. But Thursday's a beautiful day, finishing the day about 54 degrees. So let's get to the forecast, because what we're going to find, I think, over time here is we're talking about temperatures down, or highs around 48. That's just shy of the normal by 2 degrees. Clouds of sun. The winds today will be out of the north 5 to 10. And any mountain snowflakes will fade early, as well as any spots of rain or drizzle. 42 for Oneida, 48 for Morristown, looking for a high of Athens, 51. Kingston, Rockwood, 48 degrees. And then if you're traveling, some of you will be on the road. They should be around 52 in Memphis, 51 in Charlotte, about 52 in Atlanta. Lexington, Kentucky at 40 degrees today. Clearing skies tonight, down to 27. And you can see patches of freezing fog, light and variable winds. If they're moving at all, they're generally out of the northeast. Here's tonight's lows, 29 in La Follette. Don't be surprised if you're in Bell County, Middlesboro. You dropped to 24, 27 in Jamestown, and 27 in Crossville. It's a cold morning. There's no doubt. Frosty cold, in fact, with some of that patches of freezing fog. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. 54 on Thursday. 54 on Thursday with bright sun. Then we move it up. Nice little warming trend. Friday, mostly sunny. There'll be some high clouds Friday at 58. But I think it's wall-to-wall sunshine on Saturday at 61. And then Sunday to Monday still have to be revisited, just depending on the track timing and temperature. Clearly, I think it'll be warm enough for rain in the valley, but some of the higher peaks, some of the higher mountains, anywhere from Clingman's Dome, Newfound Gap, Thunderhead, Mount LeConte, may very well pick up some snow, depending on the track. If it's too far south, it could be a swing and a miss, but we'll keep an eye on that all the same. If you're on the call, let me know. I'd love to say hi to you. If I didn't get to your comment, I'll do my best to do so. Let me come back on camera real quick. Dennis Hatcher says good morning from Dandridge. Good morning, Dennis. Glad to have you here. And Lana says good morning from Kodak. She's got 2 cups of coffee. Great to share that with you. Everyone have a good day. And if you're on YouTube, let me know. No chat, no message on YouTube. I would have given a shout out quickly on that. If you're on there, let me know. I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have. Kelly says good morning from Crossville. And John Lance says, hey, David, I heard we have another chance of snow in February. Well, John, I hope that if you haven't heard, I have a great product called the Captain Accurate Weather Premium Service on Facebook. We discuss this every day. in great detail, probably more detail than one might want more into the weeds than just, hey, we're going to get this or get that. But we do talk about the possibilities of snow, and I do think it will be coming back in time. So if you want to check that out, go to my CaptainAccurate.com website for details on how to sign up, or you can hit the subscribe button at the top of this Facebook post. But by the way, if you haven't checked out the A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling monthly maintenance plan, they have a great plan where they come out once before winter, and we can think that winter's got another chapter still to be had in February, and once before summer, because if we get this cold snap, which I suspect we will, your heat pump will be put to the test once again. If we get below 15 degrees, our experts at A1 Fincham believe that's the time to go to emergency heat. Because if you're trying to heat your home, let's say heat your home at, say, 70 degrees and it's 5 degrees outside, you're going to have a hard time getting the house into 65-degree territory. So there's a lot of questions that come up, and the answers are at a1fincham.com. Just check them out at a1fincham.com or call them 865-947-4267. Very happy to have A1 Fincham. And as I mentioned, they've got some great discounts for seniors and veterans. Did I hear discounts for seniors? Yes, you did. Check them out. A1fincham.com. They've got some great details for you. But family owned and operated since 1982. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. I want to say thank you for your time this morning. And if you've got more details or questions for me, keep them coming on YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you here next time. Take care.